Hey YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to look at a cool feature in JavaScript APIs called Navigator.onLine. This API lets us see whether the user is online or offline, and in our web apps, and then do stuff like saving data into browser's cache if the user is offline, and alerting the user when the user becomes online or offline, so the user might do some decisions about the app. So it's on the window.navigator APIs, and then this onLine variable or the prop on the navigator has true or false. It's a boolean value. Based on that, you can check it. You can check this anytime on page load or when the user becomes online or offline. But how do you know that? There are two events that get fired when the user, when the network status changes, and those events are straightforward. Online event is fired when the user comes online. Offline event fires when the user becomes offline. Right? It's quite simple. There's not much going on here. It's a very simple API, just a prop and two listeners, two events. All right. Let's quickly check this the compatibility or support from the browsers. As you can see here, I'm checking it in caniuse.com, which is a very popular compatibility checker. And if I type onLine, the first result here gives us the support. And you can see that 96.8%, let me zoom in a little bit, of users will be able to, we can target those users because those browsers support this functionality. All right, so now we'll quickly see a demo. Now let me just refresh this for time's sake. Okay, I think let me reset. I was prepping for this. Okay, anyway, so I'm in CodePen, and then I'm looking at a blank thing. So what we're going to do is let's quickly do a couple of changes here. CSS, CSS, and JavaScript, Babel, just in case. And I'm just going to paste some default styles. The idea here is that I will write the code, JavaScript code, which will add an onLine class when the user comes online, and an offline class when the user goes offline to the body tag. So to make it look obvious, we're going to change the background color. When the user comes online, it's going to be green. When the user goes offline, it goes red. Okay, there's not much going on, just some default styles to center the text and all that. So I'm going to hide the CSS tab, and let's go to JavaScript. Let's first check on page load whether the user is online or offline. So I'm going to say if window.navigator.onLine, if the user is online, I'm going to do a couple of things. One is document.body.inner text. I'm going to change the text to online, and then document body dot class list dot toggle online. So I'm just adding the online tag, and now since I'm online, you can see that the work offline is not checked. That means I'm online, and you can see that the text is added. All right. In the else condition, we're going to do the exact opposite, or something like this, and then I'm going to toggle offline class. All right. So this is when the page loads, but we have to also do something when the status changes, right? So I'm going to add window.onLine. We have seen here that we can do the event listener like this, add event listener, which will allow us to do multiple listeners, but there is this straightforward way of assigning a function to this variable on window, on onLine, and on offline as well. So I'm going to do that for the sake of explanation. So what I will do is I will do similar things. So when the user comes online, I would like to do these two things, but I would also like to toggle the class for offline as well. So if the document already has, if the body already has the offline class, I would like to remove that. So instead of toggle, I would say add, remove. All right. And for offline, I'm going to do a similar thing. This is just good coding practice to remove unnecessary classes and add only the class that is required to be added. Now I'm going to just copy all these things, put it here. I'm going to call it offline, and then add offline class and remove online class. This is pretty much it, right? So let's test this. So to go offline in Firefox, I'm using Firefox Developer Edition. You could use any browser. In Firefox, I have to do this to simulate offline strategy. So if I do that, you can immediately see the background changed and the text changed because of this. And then immediately when I come online, it is going to change back like this. I think that gives you some idea about this API, and probably you could use these cool features in your projects. And one more thing I wanted to tell you before I finish. So you might be wondering, on page load, how can this else condition ever happen? Because if the user is already offline, the page load will result in 404 not found, right? But there is one case, and that case is PWA. If you are using a PWA and you enabled caching of assets, including HTMLs, you will be served with those cached HTML files if you are offline. So that is the best feature of PWA apps. So if you are building a PWA app, you're most likely going to use this else condition to do some stuff on page load, because the page is getting served from the local service worker cache. All right, I'm assuming that it's really helpful, this video to you guys, and that you will come back for more videos. Catch you later. Thank you for watching, and catch you later.